Chronicle RuneScape Legends has finally launched. Tree of Savior temporarily closes its doors to new players. All that and more, I'm Zach Sharps, and this is Free to Play Weekly. First up in the news this week, Jagex's free-to-play CCG Chronicle RuneScape Legends is now fully launched and available on Steam. Those of you who have already checked out the title need not worry. You can download the Steam version and link your existing Chronicle account to not lose any progress. In addition, Jagex revealed that a 6th legend, the Slayer Master Morvran, will be coming to the game this summer. Those who want to hit up the ranked mode will see a new season to conquer up until its end on June 30th. Personally, I took a break from the game after initially playing it a lot during the open beta, and upon returning for launch, I did notice quite a bit of great improvements to the game that have only made it better. I certainly do recommend this title if you're looking for a new CCG to play, especially since this one is fairly unique. Speaking of new games free to play, Incel Games post-apocalyptic sci-fi MMO Trinium Wars decided to go free to play. The company announced the news on the game's official Steam page, noting that they'd received many requests for this to happen. The game features 2 races, hundreds of quests, traditional tab target based combat, base building, dungeons, battlegrounds, a resource war system, and a whole lot more. Overall, the game doesn't look that enticing to me. Apparently it was in an early access buy-in period before, and now it's early access free to play. I don't know, but hey, it's free now, so if you were curious about it before and didn't want to pay, now you don't have to. Those of you MOBAing it up in Epic Games free-to-play MOBA title Paragon, you'll get to check out a brand new hero very soon. The hero's name is Rictor, and he's a cyborg armed with an electrified chain whip. Sounds pretty sweet. Those of you who are curious about his role on the battlefield might be intrigued to hear that Rictor will play a melee tank role with a focus on crowd control. He features an attack titled Riplash, which allows him to use his chains to grab enemies from a distance and pull them in, all while dealing damage. He also has other abilities which silence enemies, and his Skewer ultimate, which creates a web of chains that damage and stun everything in their path. Sounds like a pretty awesome hero to me, and those of you who are in the beta will be able to check him out on May 31st. Usually, when a new MMO launches, the developers and publisher typically do everything in their power to get new blood into the game. I mean, you gotta make that money, right? However, this is not the case with IMC Games and their newly released free-to-play title Tree of Savior. Instead, IMC Games plans to temporarily restrict access to the game to existing players only, while forbidding new players from even downloading the game. This is due to multiple issues with server stability, client-side lag, and other problems that are currently plaguing the game. What is really interesting is Tree of Savior originally didn't even want to open up the floodgates for months, allowing top founder pack owners a 3-month head start, then later changing it after backlash from the community. This makes me wonder if IMC originally thought the game wasn't ready and they knew that these issues would occur, but regardless, after these weird launch shenanigans, it's time for the question of the week. Last week on the show, I asked you guys if you liked old school styled MMOs. A user by the name of AddNone Games stated the following: old school MMOs used to be really fun actually, like RuneScape and Ultima Online, because they sometimes calm you down and other times they make you feel excitement. The reason behind this is that you play with your brain and not your reflexes. Also, in old school MMOs, from level 1 to max level, you always have fun, but in new MMOs, you just need to get to max level in order to have fun. Thanks for your guys' responses. As always, if you want your comment possibly featured in next week's show, make sure to leave a comment down below. This week's question is, what do you think was the worst launch in MMO history and why? I can think of some big MMO flops myself, but I'm curious what nightmares you guys went through in your journeys. Last up in the news this week, we get to discuss a free-to-play title that all of us here at MMOBomb.com have spent a lot of time talking about. Most of it was in regards to collecting, so of course I'm referring to Nexon's new mount collector MMORPG Riders of Icarus. A lot of the game's PR is focused on the in-depth mount and pet collection system that the game presents. I mean, hell, it sounds like they threw in Pokemon into their MMORPG. However, not a lot of attention is usually focused on the class classes within the game. Luckily, the devs highlighted the classes this week, and we got to see the Guardian, Priest, Assassin, Wizard, and Berserker all in action. They look pretty standard to me, but it is what I did expect. That said, now that Nexon has added in a soft targeting mode within Riders, my anticipation has grown enough where I'll check it out once it is launched. You know it never keeps you waiting, except for when they do, because that's what their whole thing is all about in order for you to find out if you win. I'm talking about giveaways, of course. Be sure to head on over to MMOBomb.com, check out the giveaways page, and check it daily to ensure you never miss one. As for myself, be sure to stalk me on Twitter at ZachSharps, but as always, signing out till next week's show, my name is Zach Sharps, and I'll catch you guys next time.